All right. So let me bring myself back up here. All right. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending on where you're joining us from on this earth. And welcome to another episode of the Mailbag Show brought to you by the iFlip YouTube channel. Today's episode is going to be very special for us. It's a kind of a special edition that we have in May because you'll see what I mean by that right on the screen here as we bring up, drum roll please, special guest. You're used to usually seeing only two faces on this show, just mine and my co-host Lee, but today we are featuring our very own CEO, Randy Tate. And if you are all here, I'd say let's give a big round of applause for Randy making his presence here on our show. Welcome, Randy.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have a lot of cool stuff going on at iFlip, and we are moving at a colossal rate. I think that you've used that kind of terminology before, and as more people are trickling in, joining the stream here, I just wanted to give everybody an opportunity. Why don't you all jump down in the comment section or in the chat box and just say hi to Randy, just so that this is going to be a very engaging kind of a mailbag show. You will have the opportunity to directly ask our CEO some questions that you may have. And Randy, I'll start off with this, just as I was previously just saying. We're moving, the iFlip internal team, we're moving at faster than I've ever felt that we were moving. And sometimes when you go really fast, there are some bumps in the road, and even small bumps feel worse when you're going very quickly. So, and I think that some of us, why don't you give us the kind of like the latest and greatest, both the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're all about transparency here at iFlip in terms of what we have in store, for the next quarter and for the rest of the year in terms of changes that we can see from iFlip, both as a company and the actual app itself.
Yep. So thanks, Aaron. Thanks, Lee, for having me on here. I'm excited to come on here and chat with everybody because you hit the nail on the head, Aaron. We are moving, and people that know me and that work for this company know that we're always putting the pressure on to go faster, get more done, get better all the time. And one of the biggest things we found doing some research late last year, early this year, had to do with some of the onboarding processes. So many of you have been with us for a while, so you've already onboarded. You remember the process. Get my information in, and then put in my identity verification. Come back in a couple days, put in my bank verification. Come back in a couple days, put my money to work. That's not a scalable process. It worked fine, but it's not scalable. As a company, we can't grow fast enough that way. So we completely revamped it. That entire process now that most of you went through that took you a week, 10 days, we can do that now in 7 minutes. That was not an easy lift. A couple things had to happen in order for us to do that. One, we had to update our .NET matrix. We were on an old version that was hard to get support from Microsoft, and it was making things slow. So when we upgraded it and updated the entire process, we updated the entire back end of our software. That was I can't express to you how big of a lift that was. Our entire dev team, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people were working 15-hour, 18-hour days, 7 days a week to get this out. And then when they release it, one of the things that we didn't realize is that Xamarin, so this is all going to a point, which is the technology that the mobile app is built on, that Xamarin would be affected by this new release on the web version. So we released the web version. We had hiccups for about a week. Things broke. Price server didn't work like we expected. It was not abnormal. Welcome to software. It's working fine now. However, it broke the mobile app. Well, it didn't break, and when I'm saying it broke the mobile app and the front end wasn't working, I want to be really clear. The back end is always working fine. The AI is working, the investments are going. What got broke was the the front end, what you're staring at. So this is a big deal. And I want you guys really need to understand this. But what happened was when we upgraded to the new matrix, it, like I said, broke the mobile app. The mobile app still is not working great. And here's why. It's not working great because we've got old technology, like 2 years old, talking to new technology. We are in the process right now. We made the decision last week to completely convert the mobile into the same code base as the web. So it's going to take us a couple of weeks. There's no way around it. That's the way it's going to work. Your mobile app's not going to work well for a couple of weeks. Why did we do all that? Why disrupt everything? Well, we're disrupting it for the greater good for the long haul. What's going to happen now is you're going to get less spinny things. You're going to get less inability to log in. It's going to be faster, more responsive, and we're changing a couple tweaks to the way it reports performance. The reporting of performance, every one of you in every account that you have, your performance is actually better than it shows on the app. Now, there's a couple of little reasons why I can show you the way the dividends show up and the way it's recorded. That creates a negative performance against the actual performance. So those are not small deals, and I'm being transparent with you guys because I really want you to understand that we're putting out the very best thing we can, and we're going to continue to improve it. We're going to continue to make it better, and that is like the foundational issue that we had, and now it's going to all be better. The web's already better. The performance is better. Most of you have logged in and seen the new look with the 3 core smart folios. Auto deposit, super excited about that, is coming for all of you existing clients. If you're brand new in the last week or two, you have auto deposit available to you. Sorry about that. Some of the older people that have been here, it's a little more, it hasn't been turned on your side of the house yet, but that's coming hopefully this week. So again, big updates. So one of the things that happens is people are, you guys are all doing a great job of letting support know, hey, this is going on, this is going on, this is not working, this ain't working. So I wanted to address a whole bunch of those at one time and tell you guys why. And that's the foundation of why. We just released 2 weeks ago a completely new version of the app on the web-based side of it. The mobile is following right behind it. Like I said, it's a couple of weeks away from it actually going full throttle. Now, why is that a big deal, and what's going on with some of these other questions and things? So some people have asked questions. Like I saw some questions coming through. Previously, if I didn't have a certain amount of money in, I only had access to a certain smart folios. Well, smart folios now, one of the things in the new mobile, in the new web and mobile, is that it's fractional. So every smart folio now has only a $500 minimum to invest, because you can invest in no matter how many stocks are in there for as little as $500, because it will fractionalize that across all of the different stocks or ETFs that are in there. The intent here, again, is to democratize the space. Let everybody be able to invest in things that normally somebody only with lots and lots of money could invest in. If you got to buy Amazon by the share, it takes a lot of money to do that. Now you can buy $100 worth of it. That's one of the new things that we've done. So in doing that, we also now have it set up so that you and your immediate family, across all smart folios, you and your immediate family all get as many accounts as you want. You just pay one fee for the aggregate total of the money invested. And that is, again, the attempt to simplify. We're working really hard to simplify. I always tell Kelly, let's do it like they're third graders. We're treating everybody like a third grader. So that's the intent of what we're doing there. Now, a couple of fun things that have been going on. Many of you attended the event that we did, I think it was a week ago now, the Bulletproof Investing event. It was virtual. We were originally going to do it live. We turned it into a virtual event. Went really well. Had some great speakers, had some great content. Those of you that I saw a question ask about the recordings all went out. So check your junk. If you got the recording and it's not in there, then when will the recording be available? There we go. Questions on the screen. So that recording will be available. It's available now. So if you didn't get it, email the mailbag. Lee or Aaron will get back to you and get you the recording. But they already went out. So that's all been made. That's all been recorded. There's a couple other big things that are happening. September 21 and 22, mark it on your calendar. We are going to do that event live. We're going to do a full 2-day of it. We've got a couple big guest speakers coming. We've got a handful of really good investment speakers, people that do different types of investing, from futures to real estate to different types of opportunities beyond iFlip. You know, we love what we do here. We are not the only place to invest. There are different places you can put your money. We want to bring some of our friends together and see that. So September 21 and 22 in Dallas, we will be doing that event live. We're super excited about that. So you can see there's a lot of things we're really happy about. We're getting a lot of things done. Now, back to, and I'm going to make the sandwich out of this, back to the upgrades. I apologize. I know it's a little rough for some of you guys out there. Believe me, every time I pick up my phone and I can't log in, I get grumpy about it. When it's taking too long to load, that because they're working on it, I get grumpy about it. That's all front end stuff. The back end is working perfectly. That's the whole idea. The back end's working. The AI is working. All of it's going as it's supposed to. Now, we do have one other big announcement. I can't give you much details on this yet. It's an interesting announcement. We're doing some business with one of the sharks from Shark Tank, and there's going to be a unique opportunity for all of you to be a bigger part of iFlip. Just stay tuned. I'm just going to set that little nugget down and leave it right there. And so with that said, I wanted to just give you, that was the overview I wanted to give. You know, give you guys an idea that the pain you're suffering right now a little bit along with us, we understand. We're here with you. We're working through it, and it's going to be a better platform when it is completely and fully upgraded and functioning and all the new upgrades are released. Every day we're doing more and more and more. In a month, you'll forget we ever had this conversation. So I want to make sure we got a chance to address that, Aaron, Lee. Any other questions people have? I know we got more on the recordings. Yeah, the recording is available, so make sure that you get with Lee or Aaron. They can get you your credentials to review it.
Yeah.
Aaron, anything else you want me to add on top of that? You told me 15 minutes, so I think
one thing that you're really good at is being right on time for all your speaking engagements. I mean, I would love you if you would hang out. We didn't really get too many questions for you directly about the app or the status of the company or the status of the app, technical issues. I think the biggest, most important piece of that is, regardless of speed or performance issues you might experience on the actual front end itself, the AI has been working the entire time, and that's what's really important. And I just wanted to reiterate that. And Allison Davis is also asking for the recording from 2 weeks ago. One caveat that I will add that Randy may not have mentioned here is that they are available if you purchase them. And so if they're not just going out for free. That was a upsell. That was a purchase that currently is the early bird special on that expired. So currently it's $297. But if you didn't get it yet, and you're here, and I can tell who's here, you can email Mailbag, and we will give you a coupon that allows you to get it for the sale price at, where's my email here? Okay, just email Mailbag, and we will set you up with a discount code that allows you to get it for $47. Also, you can hope to win it for free at the end of this show if you get our trivia question correctly. So there's two other ways of obtaining the recording. Now, we did get a couple of other questions from Matthew and Nora Carroll.
Let me jump on that one. So yes, crypto. Guess what? The crypto's done. It works. It's awesome. The clearing broker has yet to make an arrangement with the exchange. So what have we done about that? Here's another big announcement for you. What we've done is we've went out and started the process to open our own broker dealer. Flip will actually own its own broker dealer late July, early August, as long as FINRA doesn't give us any grief. So we've been a little frustrated with it. We did our part. We did everything we could. We built it. It's done. It works. But we have no exchange to exchange it on because the clearing broker can't seem to get a relationship with those guys. I'm a little miffed about that one, if you can't tell by my tone. The idea, yes, that's the digital currencies. We want that live. The intention will be right after we get set up with as a broker dealer, one of the first things on our agenda is to make sure we can turn on the crypto piece. Not just the crypto piece where we can trade, the Bitcoins and the Ethereums, but the combined smart folios that Kelly has built, where it takes actual S&P 500 stocks like Tesla and Microsoft, combining them with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and allowing them to trade together. That is a really big deal for us, and it's really something we want to have. And I apologize. I have refunded some people because they don't want to wait anymore, and I totally understand that. We have every intention to get that out. It's on the top of our list. I definitely will expect that out this year, but it will be happening. We just got to get the broker dealer piece set up. That was something that drove us to get that set up.
Yeah, on behalf of and in defense of our dev team, that was complete almost, I think, a year ago. We were done. And it was just a matter of working with Paxos, which is one of the largest. It's not like we worked with one of like the small dinky little brokers. No, it's the largest one globally, Paxos. I know that other Forex brokers and companies work with Paxos well, but I think for whatever reason, I think it was a mix of the timing, because that's around when crypto was crashing and regulation was tightening.
Aaron, it really came down to the broker dealer. Our broker dealer could not get an arrangement to clear. That was it. It had nothing to do with anything else.
Oh,
literally,
yeah.
It was purely they could not come to an arrangement.
So yeah. So on behalf of and in defense of our dev team, the AI, I think, if I'm not mistaken, actually works better on crypto than it does on stocks. If I'm not mistaken, Kelly was super excited about how that was actually shaping up.
Still running. Works fine.
It's still running. We just can't give it. It would be illegal for us to give it to you. That's really what it comes down to, right? The other thing is the last part of this question is this year. I'm not going to make any promises. The dev team is not going to make any promises about anything happening at any time this year because of what we just said, because it's contingent upon essentially legal red tape. And you know how that can be, and so we'll shoot for the best, and we know it works, and it's just stick with us. Hopefully, the crypto market isn't doing anything that exciting right now anyway, so you're not really missing that much on your bottom line as investors. So hopefully that's enough to keep you a fan of iFlip.
AI, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin in particular, the AI would have you out of all of them right now. You'd be in cash.
There you go. Right. You got a inside look at what the AI looks like for crypto for us. And I think we got this request mailbag at iFlipinvest.com if you want the discount code for the recording from the Bulletproof Investing virtual summit 2 weeks ago. We will honor the early bird pricing if you just email us and request us that you were on the Mailbag live show. I'd like to get that recording, and we will definitely get the instructions out to you as well for anyone who didn't receive that. Let's see. Was there the last question? This is really more of a Kelly question, but you guys can chime in if you want. Is the current bounce in the market a fake out? Soccer 12s is asking us. Lee, we haven't heard from you in a while. You wanna give us your opinion on what you feel?
Yeah, I was gonna say I've just been listening the whole time, like everyone watching. It's been great. I had nothing to do. No, I mean, like I think of everything. I I value what the AI's opinion is more than a lot of things. And I think Kelly said this before as well, that to your point in this question about it being a fake out, very well could be. I still don't have a ton of confidence in the market personally, but we'll know in time.
All right, Randy, any thoughts on this fake out? None of us are Kelly. Just be very clear, everybody. None of us are Kelly, but we can opine.
Well, and I talk opine. You're stealing Kelly's word.
I
He likes
am.
that
I love
word.
that word now.
So does Kelly. Well, but I talk to Kelly about this every morning. Kelly and I almost every morning are on the phone when the market opens or right after, and what's going on with it. And I can tell you the AI says that really in all mathematical realms, Apple's holding the market. Right now, Apple's market cap is bigger than the entire Russell 2000, all 2000 stocks combined. And so if you think about that, as goes Apple, will go the market. And so at some point, people, when you look at the way, and I'm just opining, using Kelly and Aaron's word, at some point, the market will be, at some point, we run out of money to buy stuff because the government stopped giving us money. And when you start, one of the things that the AI looks at, you hear Kelly talk about this all the time, is credit card debt, auto debt, housing defaults. All of that plays into the AI and how it's working. All that data every day. And right now, credit card debt, real estate defaults, auto repossessions, they're at all-time highs or close to it. And so everything's leading up to it. You've heard Kelly talk about the inverse of the yield curve, where short-term money is actually cheaper than long-term money. That only happens before a recession, 100% of the time. So is today a fake out? No, it's just a little bouncy. If you look at the market, it's pretty much flat. All it did today was gain back what it lost yesterday. So the market's pretty much flat. And that's our anticipation. We don't know. We're not experts. We're not advisors. I can't even give you advice. But what I can tell you is what we're looking at and what we see at the yield curve is crazy. It just doesn't make sense. The only time this happens is before a recession. And so when you start thinking about those things, we look at Smartfolios as a protection mechanism. We look at iFlip as a protection mechanism. The one thing we provide that you can't get anywhere else is that protection. We're going to be really hammering that message home. The risk aversion that the software provides you is the key component to what we do. When the market takes those big drops, you don't want to be in it. When it goes up, you want to ride it up, but not at the risk of the drop. And I'm going to leave one last little thing here for everybody, Aaron. I've been teaching a lot of classes around the psychology of money. And when you start thinking about the psychology of money, what does that mean? Well, it means that our behavior has a lot more to do with our ability to accumulate wealth than our knowledge of how to create wealth. And some of you have heard me talk on this and speak about some of the people in Wikipedia and how a gas station attendant can get to $8 million net worth of liquid cash. It takes time, persistence, and managing risk. Managing risk. And the last piece of this is, what is your definition of enough? And don't be willing, this is Randy's advice, don't be willing to risk the things you have and the things you need for something you don't have and don't need. Be conscious of that. Be patient. Don't let the tyranny of the urgent interrupt what's most important. Okay, that can get into us. That catches me sometimes. Don't let the tyranny of the urgent disrupt or interrupt what's important. So, Aaron, I know we're about down to the last 5 minutes. I don't see any other questions. This is why the server been working properly. We can jump into some of those maybe next time, or send an email. So I think we're
Yeah,
out of
I
time.
mean, well, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll just go in order. My only thing to add to this previous question about is the market a fake out, because that was what we were still on. This question right here. Obviously, I'm not a licensed advisor or anything like that. It's not. Everything is just my opinion. What I do when I have questions like this, because I am an active trader as well. I know some of you here are as well, and iFlip is not the platform that I use for that, obviously, but I do. That's like one of my side hustles, if you will. And when I see a market like today, sometimes I'm like, is this a bull market? And it's easy to get faked out. What I do personally to avoid that kind of mental confusion, because a confused mind, a confused state is death for a trader. I think you can all agree on that. It's death for most situations, actually. Zoom out. Look at a bigger time frame. Look at like a daily chart or a weekly chart or a monthly chart, and get zoom out and get the bigger picture. And you'll see that the rally today, just like Randy said, is just making up for the loss yesterday. And even on a weekly chart, it's like these candles are just bouncing around in a range, and we've been in a range for months. And the AI isn't even confident in this range, right? You're not making any money. You're going to lose $1 yesterday and then gain that dollar back today. Like, what's the point? It's the same as sitting in cash. So that's just the AI philosophy for iFlip. For if you're an active trader, sometimes it's easy to get confused. Zoom out. Hopefully that helps you get an idea of the bigger picture here. And the last question we have on by Francisco is something that we did address earlier. Our chat support did mention that, yeah, if you rewind this video at to like minute 10 or so, we do talk about the servers. Part of it is that, you know, we needed to upgrade our .NET framework on a lot of our servers, and it was, you know how updates can go, right? It's with Microsoft, even your own computers, updating your computer could lead to some unexpected things happening, and that's exactly what happened with us. That's the short version of it. And so, any final things to add for Francisco here, Randy?
No, I mean, really what it was, Francisco, we were updating everything. We moved to an entire new version of the .NET framework, and that caused some endpoints to not work properly. The team had to rewrite literally most of the endpoints. And so it was a bigger lift than we anticipated, and it's working fine now. But we have a whole lot more coming on the upgrades. It will be working much, much faster. We had to get the onboarding fixed first. And so just thanks for hanging in there with us, man. We're definitely getting it. We're getting it dialed in.
Yeah, just imagine like, well, whatever you have right now, whether you have a Mac or Windows or whatever, Linux, if you're a techie, right? Imagine upgrading from like Windows 7 to 10 and all the unpredictable things that can happen, or from 10 to 11 now, I guess, right? And all the unpredictable things that can happen. You just hope that things go well. But you know, if the older your current version and the bigger the gap between where you're at and the new version that you're upgrading to, the higher the risk of.
Our gap was big.
Yeah, and that gap was big for us. And it's the nature of you know, being a startup in this game. Sometimes, you know, that happens. But we're on top of it, right? And we're on top of it faster than we've ever been. That's what I started off the show saying. All right, so okay, so that's it. Trivia time, everybody. I saved this for the very last moment just to reward people who stuck around for us to the very end here. Let's get to the trivia question. Our trivia question for today is, who was the Fed chairman before Jerome Powell? First person to enter the answer to this question correctly in the chat wins, as I've mentioned before, the recording of the Bulletproof Investing virtual summit that we had 2 weeks ago for free. If you don't win, don't worry. We'll hook you up. If you're interested in that, don't worry. We'll hook you up for with it for the discounted price of $47. If you were to just try to get it right now, it'd be $297. So if you get this question right, you're getting almost a $300 value. And so we have a couple of guesses in. I will say that now we have we have our answers. I know we basically have two answers, and one of them is correct. Before I get to the winner for tonight, though, just qualifying, how do you obtain and how do you qualify for the prize? It's not enough that you just get the answer correct. You also have to show us that you are invested in a smartfolio, at least one. Doesn't matter which one, just one smartfolio. So send a screenshot or your account number to the email address that we've been sharing all show long, mailbag@iFlipInvest.com. Send us a screenshot of whatever smartfolio you're invested in or your account number. We can take care of that way as well. And that's what will qualify you for the prize. And the correct answer is by Soccer 12's Janet Yellen. I actually thought this was Alan Greenspan as well. We got a couple of those as well, by Greenspan, by Hoo-Ha 11, and by Kwanzaa Claybo. I would have answered the same thing, but we did have a term with Janet Yellen. So Janet Yellen is the answer. And so congratulations to Soccer 12. Again, please email mailbag@iFlipInvest.com with your screenshot of your account, and we will get you the recording of that Bulletproof Investing Virtual Summit right away. That does it for this episode of I know that's such a funny emoji. Yeah, I know. Almost had it. We're just one person off. Okay, so that does it for this episode of the iFlip Mailbag Show. Please tune in next week for the AI Circle. We'll have Kelly back with us. And if you like this kind of content, you want to engage with us further, consider subscribing. And hit the subscribe button below. Make sure the notification bell is on so you don't miss any of our live shows. And we will see you on the next video. Good night, everybody.